Hello, Craftin' buddies. It's Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am coming to you on Sunday, August 17th at 11:38 p.m. Welcome. Whew. It's been a busy day. I'm waiting for my iPad to catch up with me. That way, if anybody joins me live, I can watch the chat. Thanks for popping in. Couple quick announcements. You've heard me say the last few nights if you've been here with me or if you've watched the replay. Through the end of August, so through August 31st, Stampin' Up! Is doing a sale. 15% off 2025 to 2027 in color products. There's a whole slew of them on sale. Check it out on my online store, and that's at lorimacari.stampinup.net. If you go to shop and then shop by color, you can pull up the 2025 to 2027 products, and it'll show you everything that's on sale. Cardstock, designer series paper, that's the in color series, markers, ribbon, embellishments, designer series paper that has in colors in it, kits, scrapbooking kits, just a ton of stuff. Also, if you are local to me, this week, Wednesday, August 20th, I'm doing coffee and a card at Kat's Coffee House in Waterford. We start at 10 o'clock. We go for a couple of hours, so I have enough time to clean up before she needs to close. You're welcome to pop by. We'll be doing a birthday card with a matching gift tag. You can make several if you like. And I think that's it. So let's get down to business. I've had my guest stamper here this weekend. She did a couple of videos. It's my 7.5-year-old granddaughter. Sometimes she's really a hoot. And it's always interesting because you never know quite what's going to come out of her mouth. But she was having some butter mints. She was calling them peanut butter mints. But one of the wrappers has these popsicles on it. Some of them have these flip-flops. There's some that have hibiscus on them. She saw this wrapper, and I said we could make a card out of that. This would be really fun. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So I'm just going to leave this here. That'll be our little reminder of what we're shooting for. I'm using the Notes and Totes stamp set. I'm not using the dies, but I've used this quite a bit over the last few months and made what I think are some pretty cute projects, both cased and my own designs. But I'm going to use the sun image, the droplets, and the relax and enjoy. All right, so let's set that off to the side. I'm also going to use either the Soft Waves 3D embossing folder, and I pre-embossed a piece here on Summer Splash. That's my main color today, my focus color. So I'm going to set this aside because I didn't want to waste time just embossing if we didn't need to. Or we have the choice of this So Swirly embossing folder. So with this embossing folder for Soft Waves, it is a 3D embossing folder. So if you run it through your Stampin' Up! Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you just need the platform and the number 4 plate. Okay? No, you don't need any other plates. This one is what I'll call a regular embossing folder. And you just need the base plate, which is plate 1, and 2 of the number 3 plates. And this will go between those cutting plates. You don't need the shim. All right. So that's just a regular embossing folder. And then I'm using the Everyday Arches dies. And I pulled out 2 sizes. They're the number 2 and the number 3 if you go from the center of the pack. And this one you get, there's 10 dies altogether. So I'm using not quite the smallest one, but the next 2 up. And that'll give us a choice of sizes. We'll see what looks cute on the card. All right, so let me get this out of the way, because my desk is usually messy enough on its own without me adding stuff to it. So the ink color that I'm going to use is Summer Splash. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stamp quick since I have it handy. And I'm going to stamp a couple of these just in case we make 2 cards. But I'm going to go ahead with this Relax and Enjoy. And I'm using my piercing mat just to give me a little cushion because this is photopolymer. So since there's no foam on it, a little extra cushion helps get a better image. Well, that one's kind of not as fully inked as I would like. I haven't used this sentiment before, so it might just be that there's some machining oil still on here. Let's clean this off a little bit and see if I can get a better image, because that just looks a little rough to me. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes I've heard that if you take like an emery board or a little sanding block to it, that helps. Usually if I just clean mine a little bit and if I put a little Versamark on it, sometimes that helps. So let's pretend we're starting over. And let's re-ink this and see if that helps at all. Hopefully it'll look better. It seems a little bit better from what I can see. It's a little bit better, I guess. I may just need to rough up the stamp a little bit. Alrighty, that'll be good. Alright, and I'm going to close this for right now. So, these I'll trim down in a minute. I am using a landscaped card base, and I opted for the thick basic white. So if I use white, I always use the thick. But when I have my 8.5 by 11, I go ahead and I score it once. All right. So this time I scored it at 5.5, and then I just cut it at 4 1/4. That way I've got 2 bases ready to go, and they're both already scored. And I only had to work partially as hard. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just burnish this pretty good. And then, as I was looking at the Summer Splash, I wanted some popsicle-like colors. All right. So and I was trying to equate them to flavors. The Berry Burst easily could be, you know, like a fruit punch popsicle. Crushed Curry didn't seem like kind of a popsicle-y color to me. So I went down here and pulled out some Flirty Flamingo and some Lemon Lime Twist, and just for good measure, I did one in the Summer Splash. This could be, I don't know, like a Baja Mountain Dew color or something, I don't know. So we'll probably just use these 3 colors. I'm going to use this for a little backdrop piece. And this is the color combo together. So that's kind of fun. The Summer Splash, Flirty Flamingo, and Lemon Lime Twist. And then I brought in the Berry Burst because I thought that would be fun. And then just a little bit of Daffodil Delight to do some sunshine. So let's do that quick. And I'm just going to put that in the upper corner of my card. So it's going to be a little bit of sunshine in the background. And then I think I'm going to get a blending brush. And we'll just add a little bit of color to our sunshine. And we'll just make this look like we got sunshine going on. I'm sure people who know me are not surprised that I found inspiration from candy. All right, so what I thought I would do is either the So Swirly, because it looked like water, or what was this one called? Soft Waves. I like that one too. I think I'm going to do this one first. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. And since there is texture to this, make sure that you get your adhesive kind of over the whole surface so that if there's nooks and crannies that don't get glued, that you can get the edges that will actually hold to your paper. And then I found in my stash of crafting things these popsicle sticks. So I need to decide if I want to use little popsicles or bigger popsicles. So there's that one. Let's just start doing this one. And we'll see how they look. Alrighty. And when I do my ink blending, I always dab off my paper first so that I don't get a big glut of color where I don't want it. All right. And then we'll go ahead and we'll put this one here. I do need to trim this one just a smidge because it's just a little bit longer than my card. So I did this at 5.5, or what I thought was 5.5. So obviously I cut it a little generous, but that's all right. And then let's go ahead and burnish this quick too. And again, we're just going to glue so that we get enough adhesive on there so it can grip in spite of the texture. And then when we go to do our envelope, what I will likely do is emboss my flap with the coordinating embossing folder. All right, let's move that out of the way again. We'll get 3 more little sticks. These are little mini popsicle sticks. Like I said, I found them in my stash of crafting stuff. So let's see what bigger popsicles look like. I think either is cute. And these will be extras. I can probably have Riley make some things out of those. And then we're going to end up trimming this down and putting that across our card, and that's kind of going to be it. Simple, but hopefully cute. Hopefully you think so. Let's see how far we want this to go. I guess I don't want to take off too much because I kind of like how wide it is. Mama Juju, welcome. I'm doing a little summary card here using a candy wrapper for inspiration. And I have them both laid out already. And I'm just kind of putting them together to see which popsicle size trips my trigger better. So we've got that. And I'm using the Notes and Totes stamp set, the So Swirly embossing folder, the Soft Waves 3D embossing folder. Oh, I'm glad you watched her. Isn't she a hoot? For the second one, for the part 2, she's like, Grandma, I just want to do it all by myself. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'll be here if you need me. Grandma, can we do a video? She's fun. Sometimes I need more energy, but you know, that's why we don't have kids when we're this old. All right, so we can decide if we like the little popsicles or the big popsicles. So I'm going to start putting these on. Now, my sentiment, I'm not going to put on dimensionals. The tops of my popsicles I will, but not the bottom. I'll probably put some mini dimensional, well, I can put dimensionals on the corners, but I don't want anything where the popsicle stick is going to be. So let's just start gluing these on and give them time to set. Hopefully, I've never used popsicle sticks on my cards before, so we'll see how it works. You thought your phone was messing up? Because my voice was different or my hands were small? That's funny. She's done videos with me before. She's been crafting with me since before she was 3. So I came across a video like in, I think October of the year she would have turned 3, because her birthday is near the end of the year. And she's just stamping away with her little clear block and her inks and stuff. So she was 2 and like 3/4 at the time. So she's been stamping with me for quite a long time. And it's fun. I'm glad she loves to craft. You know, everybody has their little niche when they're working with kids, I think. And, you know, Papa takes her to the park. Well, I don't necessarily want to be sitting at the park and doing nothing, because I'm not used to sitting still for very long. So, you know, he does the park thing with her, and I can do the crafting. He can play cards with her, and I do cards too, like Uno, but I'm more, let's go into the craft room and do stuff. And I think I'll put just a little bit of glue on the edge here. What would do good in your journals? Oh, the popsicle sticks. That makes sense, right? I'll just have to like put a cover piece when I put them in an envelope, which I do when I have embellishments anyway, because I don't want them popping through the envelope. And then we'll put this one here. Oh, you know what I didn't do, and I'm going to do it before I go any further. I was going to put some, that's why I pulled these inks in here. I was going to put like some little melty splashes here, like my popsicle is melting. Oops, that didn't come out. There, now it did. Just because I thought that would be kind of fun. And we'll do the berry burst. Oh, I probably should just do this one like here now, since it's right here. That would make sense. Stamp smarter, not harder, right? And we'll do, just go over there with this one. All right, I think we'll just do lemon lime twist maybe down here. That's why I brought in these extra colors. But this is just such a quick and easy card, and I think it's cute. And if you saw the videos, you saw Riley calling them peanut butter mints. And the typewriter she kept calling a calculator, because she probably has never seen a typewriter. All right, so let's just wash this one up too. So I just did a little bit of ink blending in the corner. I don't know if you can see that on screen or not, but I did. And this one, if I put it kind of close to here, I should be okay. Not right in the corner. No, I need it over further. Maybe I'll go up a little bit. I want to make sure that popsicle stick goes between it. And we can do a little Wink of Stella. Make these little popsicles shimmer. Make them look like some kind of fruit pops, right? And I think I'll put a little bit of glitz on the little splashes too. And probably on the sun, wouldn't hurt. And I'll wait to put the Wink of Stella on those until I have them glued on. All right, so let's go ahead and put this on. That looks just a little crooked to me, like it's not cut quite straight. So let's just see if I can mess it up. So it's a little over 3/4 of an inch, a little over 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so it was a little bit off. And we'll put this right over here. One card done. All right, so let's go ahead and do the same thing with these. Pretty quick. And if you didn't have popsicle sticks, I mean, it would be very easy just to make some oblong sticks out of cardstock, you know, just round the corners. If you have a small circle punch, you can kind of feed your paper through and just cut one end, or just freehand it. All right, so let's put this one on. Hopefully there's enough room for the popsicle stick here. Did you watch both of Riley's videos? One was last night and I didn't make it go live right away because I had recorded it actually, because I thought, oh, you just never know what she's going to come up with. So I listened to it and I thought, no, she's fine. She starts talking about stuff that has nothing to do with her cards because she hears me sometimes on my videos and I just start having that conversation. I know, you want to have ice cream? So do I. Although I did have Dairy Queen earlier tonight because we went out with family again for dinner. And I'm putting this one just above that layer of the water so we can have some of that summer splash show through. Okay, that'll be fine. I think I like the bigger popsicles better. So that's just whatever size of the everyday arches we use. Yeah, part 2 was pretty short. That was the one she only did one card. Part 1 we did last night, and I released it today. Yeah. All right, so let's do a little Wink of Stella. I'm going to have to squeeze a little bit more into my brush, I think. I always worry that I'm going to do a little too much. And then I hate to waste it because it's so pretty. Yeah, her first video, I think last night was like, I don't know, like 25 minutes maybe. Today's was shorter. I don't remember exactly how long it was, but she was pretty much down to business. And then when we were done, she's like, Grandma, can I do another kit? Can we do another video? I'm like, you know, you've got bedtime. So we only did the one card with her tonight. But she wanted me to set her up with another kit tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see how time goes. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and put this on. I can actually put a dimensional on this side. And then some glue on this side. I need to make sure my Winka Stella dries. Yeah, I think it was, I'm pretty certain it was less than half an hour. I'm trying to dry my Winka Stella. I put it on a little heavy, that one. It might be okay. And if not, I'll just put more glue later. All right, so I don't know if I need embellishments or not. Because we've got the Winka Stella, we got the popsicle sticks. I suppose some embellishments wouldn't hurt. I use some of these party dots again. They're on the last chance list, so I'll just put a few on here. Why not? Do we want to do pink on the other one? Yeah, why not? Oh, someday I figure she'll take over my channel. Because she likes to say, well, the first time she went on, she said it was, you know, Lori's little bit of crafting, and she was a guest stamper or whatever. And she did that a few times, and then she finally said to me, Grandma, I want to say it's Riley's little bit of crafting, and you can be my guest stamper. And I'm like, that's fine. Whatever. I'm easy that way. So that's all I have tonight. Just these quick and easy cards. So the Everyday Arches dies, a couple of the embossing folders, your choice. So this is the Soft Waves embossing folder, because I figured it's water. And then this was the So Swirly there. Very similar. And then I use the little splashes, the sun, and the sentiment from this Notes and Totes. All right. On to packing up school supplies. We went shopping for my guest stamper today to get her school supplies. So I got to get those packed up and ready to go because she'll be going home tomorrow. So we want to send that stuff with her. And then I'm heading to bed. So, you know, it's after midnight here. Enjoy the rest of your night or your day or wherever you're at. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Until next time, happy crafting.